I'm live. Hello, everyone. What did I miss? So, hello, certified. Hello, Mary, Michelle, Janet, Wendy, Lynn, Kai. It's good to see you all here. A good crowd to start. Hey, Vix, glad you made it this week. Hello, Leslie, aka Apple. You like my new hat? So, everybody hear me okay? Hello, hippie. Welcome. Yeah, well, loud's not always good, but clear is. I don't want to be shouting in anybody's ears. I'm just gonna go shut my door here. I sent out what do they call it? Not a comment, but in the community portion of my page, I listed the 16 songs we're going to be doing this week. So if anybody wanted to re-listen to any of the songs or anything, hello, Lindsay. Thank you. Come on, focus, focus. Yeah, I got my final jab today. The first time I went there, there was a lineup around the block, and today I just had to basically walk in and there was no lineup. It was quite nice. I was worried I might be late. Hello, Sylvia. Oh, I'm feeling fine. The first shot I got, I had a few days later. I had a little bit of like you might call mild symptoms. But hello, LET. Yeah, there's always vaccination hesitation, especially with a brand new vaccine. But they've given away a few billion of these vaccines now, and although they have had some issues, I think overall it's a net positive for sure. Hey, Nick, Stokely. Oh, that's too bad. Better get started. Yeah, well, you always get the little bit of pain in the arm. You get the injection, of course. It gets a little sore, but I don't. I'm starting my month-long vacation today, so I have lots of time to rest. Yeah, and I did put a little more consideration into my my brackets. Before I was kind of matching songs that I found to be somewhat similar in the first bracket, but uh, I got away from that a little bit. Yeah, a lot of the restrictions are being lifted here, especially if you have both your shots. then you can pretty much go back to life as normal. Although there was a small uptick in cases this last week, but not a tremendous uptick. We still have to be cautious, of course. Yeah, I've never been a coffee drinker myself. I've tried to be just for the social aspect of it, but no. Even the fancy coffees that people say don't taste like coffees, they still taste like coffee to me. Oh yes, Jane, I will get I'm looking forward to getting a lot of reactions done over the I am out camping for just shy of 2 weeks total, but I plan to pre-record some reactions, just release them over the week. And if you haven't already, of course, I would appreciate a thumbs up. Yeah, I heard about that, the uptick, and I think because a lot of people are going back to normal a little sooner than I think they should. You know, we hear of cases going down, and everybody kind of sighs some relief and goes back to life as normal. But we're not quite there yet. You know, they say you need about 70% vaccination rate for herd immunity, and not too many places are there yet. Yeah, I'm a tea. When I do drink hot drinks, it's almost always tea. And Nick, I have my suspicions are very similar to yours, but we'll see what happens because every time I think I know what it's going to be like, it's not. So, hey Chris, welcome back. Ulrich, welcome back. Hey Ulrich, am I pronouncing your name right? Because I've been known to butcher names. Yeah, I drink water too, as long as there's sugar in it. Excellent, thank you. So everybody's got their drink of choice in front of them. Are we almost ready to go? We'll wait a couple more minutes for any strays to come in. Hello, Granola. Welcome. Sounds good, Granola. Ice cream, good choice. What's your flavor of choice, certified? Me, I like anything with chocolate in it. Although it's not mandatory when it comes to ice cream. I can dive into a bowl of just about anything. Chris, I don't know. Like I say, I've changed the brackets a little bit, so hopefully the harder choices are for later and not in the first round. But we'll see. It's hard to know because what I might consider to be a great song or a tough choice might not be for everybody else. You guys have surprised me every week with some of your choices, so it's not as easy as making brackets for a sports team where some teams are, you know, statistically and evidently better than others. Music is all like art. It's all in the, all in the ear of the listener. Yeah, mint chocolate chips, good. Yeah, we always keep vanilla in our freezer because it's, you can use it for so many things. Sundays, milkshakes. Um, I like dropping it into just soda pop for what do they call it? A float. Hello, Liliana. Mac and cheese ice cream. Ooh, I don't know about that. Although I do enjoy mac and cheese. Yeah, we're all hardcore Queen fans in here. I guess that's the side effect of having uh, Queen specific chats about Queen songs. We're not going to attract too many other people, which unfortunate and fortunate depending on how you look at it. But the only way I mess with mac and cheese is by I like to add like ground beef and onions and sometimes a little bit of corn. When I was really, really poor, that was my go-to meal because you could make it up quite easily. Welcome. Yeah, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that name. We'll just call you T. Welcome, T. Garlic flavor ice cream. Yeah, I don't know about that one either. Hello, Lovey. Welcome. We're getting a good crowd today. Mr. Dave. Welcome, Mr. Dave. Okay, let's get into this. So everybody knows the rules. We got 16 songs. We're pairing two against each other. We're going to be voting not by name, just by number. So it'll be first choice one, second choice two. The winner of that goes on until we come down to our final. And who did we have for our final winners before? Was It All Worth It? In the Lap of the Gods. And last week was The Show Must Go On. Well, I'm glad you made it this week, Lovey. Okay, let's do this. Everybody ready? Starting off with our first bracket. We've got vote number 1 for Great King Rat or number 2 for Loser in the End. Great King Rat is 1. Loser in the End is 2. Hey, Margie, glad you made it. Just in time, just getting started. Great King Rat, number 1. Loser in the End, number 2. Well, I'm glad to see Loser in the End get some votes. But I think it's looking like it's going to be Great King Rat. I don't know how many votes are still out there. Well, it's 6. Yeah, I got 6 votes, 6 or 7 for loser in the end. But it looks like Great King Rat is moving on. Anybody else with a vote? Okay. Yes, the Roger fans. Great King Rat takes round 1. Yeah, I'm watching for the double votes. But for the most part, they won't matter unless it's a very close vote. Then we'll take a lot closer look at it. I love Roger songs, but Great King Rat's one of my favorites. Probably in my top. Well, I don't know if it would be in my top. It's so hard to say where a song would be. One of these days, I'll try to break down like my least to my most favorite Queen song, but I'm sure by the time I got to the end of the list, I could start over and redo it completely. Okay, let's quickly move on to number 2. Here we go. So hit number 1 for Back Chat or number 2 for Machines or Back to Human. So Machines is number 2, Back Chat number 1. Yee, this one's going to be close. I like both these songs too. And thank you, Jane. Okay, this one's going to take some re-edition, I think. 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 3. I have it 9 votes for back chat, 10 votes for machines. There's still a couple of us in here. Anybody else want to throw a vote out, or maybe double count my numbers for me, see if you get the same thing? Because this one is close. No, and so far I think I get to avoid having to pick. Although I know what well, actually I don't really know what I'd pick in this one. So let's try again. 1. Oh dear. Okay, now I'm counting it at 10 each. Anybody else verify that for me? Oh, looks like I'm gonna have to vote on this one. Okay, so what do I like about these? Backchat was always a favorite of mine on the Hot Space album. Just very quirky, but Machines is, yeah, it's truly a cool song. Oh, are you sure anybody else? We got somebody else just joined the chat. Anybody else need to vote that hasn't yet? Number 1 for Backchat, number 2 for Machines. Anyone? Anyone? Voting closing in 3, 2. I had 10 for Backchat. Are you telling me I don't have to vote? Did you get Mary's last minute vote there? Came after, a little after. Yeah, okay, fine. I'll put an end to it, and I'm going to give this one to Machines. Just because I'm a technology geek and the song's all about technology, so there we go. I think that's been our closest vote so far. Sorry, Wendy. I mean, I would have been happy with either one of these, or would have been no disappointing pick, but I also think I think Machines is dated a little better. I think it's a little more relevant to today, perhaps. Doesn't everybody like to be cool? Yeah, sometimes. Sometimes the cool crowd are the ones I don't particularly like, though, or those who deem themselves to be cool, anyways. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think it was a tie, but that's okay. I broke it. Machines still took it. I was a little surprised that I was afraid that Great King Rat was just going to dominate Loser in the end. It's nice to see so many of you appreciate the Loser in the end. Sometimes you don't know with the deeper cuts how people feel about them. Yeah, and that's another thing. I think the lyrics and machines is really good too. The use of you know because a lot of this kind of technology wasn't so well known as it is now. Back then, random access memory, most people had no idea what RAM was. Now, most people know RAM. Okay, so we're moving on to our third pairing. Back to humans. So for this one, we're going to be voting number 1 for She Makes Me, or number 2 for Jealousy. Jealousy's number 2. She Makes Me, number 1. This will be an interesting vote. Hello, Claudia, by the way. Just noticed you here. Wow. I know, no kidding. It's funny because She Makes Me, I was never a big fan of the song, but in more recent years, I've been listening to it. There's just something really eerie about that song, the pace of the song and the tone of the song. But for that, it's kind of grown on me. I quite enjoy it, but I think I'd probably take Jealousy in this one as well. Hey, Tyler, come on down, say hello. Okay, come stick your nose in here, say hello.
Hello.
Yeah, I think, is this our first shutout? Yeah, I think it is. Hello, Nora. Welcome.
Everybody type in the chat your favorite Queen song.
No.
Yes.
Big T. Okay, go play. Have fun. Take care. Okay, so I guess I don't really need to add that one up, right? And just because I feel kind of bad, I'm gonna throw out a vote for She Makes Me. Exactly, Michelle. That's often the case with me as well. I have to be different. It's my way of sticking out. Okay, well, I'm not gonna wait for any more votes on that one. See, so it's not so hard. Sometimes there's easy choices. It's all done willingly, is it? The spell's already been cast. What, jealousy, Janet? And Lindsay, I missed your comment before, but yeah, there are. I mean, that's not just with Queen. I mean, that can be with a lot of artists. But I found a lot of Queen songs that I wasn't nearly as big when I was younger. I enjoy so much more now after hearing them. Of course, when I was younger, I just wanted the heavy guitars and the rock sound, so I wasn't quite as appreciative of some of the other stuff. especially the ballads. But songs like Seaside Rendezvous always appealed to me, and that's definitely not a rock song. Thank you, Liliana. A gift from my lovely wife. Yeah, we all have our homework now from the dark teacher. But I think it's a good idea. I mean, I'm guessing it is helpful that I release the songs ahead of time just to give everybody a chance to listen to them again. Oh, She Makes Me. Yeah, well, it it would probably fit on something like Sergeant Pepper's. And for those of you who didn't catch it before, I'm on my holidays now, so I'll be back to putting out regular reactions. I know they were really slow for the week there, but it was a brutal week for me, and all I wanted to do was sleep. Okay, let's go on to our fourth and final on this side of the bracket. I think this one is going to be an easy one too, but I don't know. Sometimes hello, Lee, and welcome. Yeah, I think it came from Amazon for any of you who are interested in something like that. And it's got the queen on the back of the hat too. So it's twice as it's fancy whether you're looking at me or behind me. Well, there was one easy one. Jealousy trounce she makes me. Hello, Nora. Not sure if I said hello yet, but welcome. I'll have to come up with my own design of a hat. Have my own custom dark helmet hat. I have no idea what that would look like, but okay, here we are. We're on to our number 4 grouping. Number 1 for Flick of the Wrist. Number 2 for Khashoggi's Ship. Khashoggi's Ship is number 2. Flick of the Wrist, number 1. Yeah, I think this one's relatively predictable. Does that mean you're voting for number 2, Vix? Oh, you did? Ah, you just did it just to be different. Well, yeah, I think this one's yeah, I think you got outvoted by a little bit on this one. But way to be different. Daring to be different. It is really unknown. Yeah. And that was uh-oh. I've been getting these. Hang on. Hopefully I didn't lose my no. I've been getting these power flashes, and it doesn't turn my computer off, but it turns my monitor off and my lights go dim. And this is the third time it's happened. I hope this doesn't blow up on me. No, Khashoggi's Ship is actually a decent song for a very unknown song, but I mean, up against Flick of the Wrist, it's a tornado watch. So you are somewhere central U.S. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Pennsylvania. Yeah, I gotta say, I'm pretty happy I live in an area that doesn't have much for natural disasters. I mean, earthquakes are the only thing, and even earthquakes are pretty rare in these parts. Of course, I say that now. It is definitely a prequel to Flick of the Wrist. Although, of course, I think Flick of the Wrist is speaking more about the music industry executives in general, whereas, of course, Death on Two Legs is pointing a little bit more of a specific finger. Yeah, I think tornadoes would be absolutely terrifying. Although I can't think of too many natural disasters that I would have a good time with. I mean, we just had a town here in BC almost completely wiped out from wildfires. In California, of course. Although isn't there a big one going on in Oregon right now as well? Flick of the Wrist was number one. Well, I think chasing storms would certainly be exciting, but like skydiving, I can't say I'd be in a rush to do it. Yeah, BC did hit some record high temperatures. And I felt a couple earthquakes. We had one when we first moved to Richmond here, and I was sitting, and it just felt like the house dropped. It was very quick, and then it like a big crack. Although I think the crack was the foundation of the house actually cracking, but it didn't last. Like I could imagine some of those earthquakes that last like a minute. It would probably feel like an hour. Oh, just 110. Wow, is that right? I didn't even realize the UK had tornadoes. Okay, from a natural disaster on to our next pairing. So we're starting the right side here, second half of our brackets. I've slept to an earthquake before as well, but like I say, it was there. The only earthquakes I felt so far have lasted a matter of seconds. I mean, there's earthquakes going on all the time that we just don't feel. There's like literally thousands of earthquakes around the world every year, but they're too small and too far away from population centers that people don't notice them. Oh, right. Yeah, Germany's and they're flooding. That's crazy. Okay, here we go. Off topic and back on to Queen a little bit. So for this one, we're going hit number one for Dragon Attack or number two for You Don't Fool Me. I think I may as well just write down the winner of this one, but we'll see. Dragon Attack is number one. You Don't Fool Me, number two. Is Belgium getting flooding as well? Oh, this time Lee's the one who's daring to be different. Oh yeah, sure, Vix. Uh-huh. All right, I'm writing down Dragon Attack as the winner. I like the. I mean, "You Don't Fool Me" is another song that nobody ever talks about. It's not a bad song. I mean, it's a nice song, but throwing up against Dragon Attack, I knew that one would probably be. This was going back to the trying to make the early brackets a little easier to choose, letting the cream rise to the top a little quicker. Nuts, yeah, sure, Vix. I'm sure you were expecting a close one there, right? Yeah, it could be. It could just be a delay because I haven't been noticing any votes come in beforehand. Maybe afterwards we should also do, although it might only be good for a single week, but maybe we should do comparing some live performances against each other as well. Same kind of system, but just live songs. Or maybe invent a different kind of fun game for the live stuff. I know there's a setting on my end where I can change but I think it only might affect me and the way how quickly I see the chat responses come in. Outfits would be an interesting, yeah, maybe can. Well, I get the feeling a song like "You Don't Fool Me" was more of an afterthought, not necessarily a centerpiece of the album, but we want to throw in an extra song or two. What have we got? Album covers for sure, but I have a different idea for album covers. But I think we've got well, it's hard to say. I'd imagine probably 10 weeks worth of this bracket type challenge, and then we'll see, go from there. Unless I want to break it up and just do something different between, but yeah, I'm not showing not showing my chest wig today. Yeah, it would be interesting to see if I don't know. I mean, what would change from live performances to studio? I guess there would be a few songs that might get a big boost. I think Dragon Attack would get a big boost. Somebody to Love would probably get a big boost from live. Probably a lot of the early stuff too, especially off the first album. Okay. Next week. Next week we'll let it all hang out. Get myself a big gold chain and some tacky flowered Hawaiian shirt. A Kind of Magic Live. That's another one that got a big boost, I think, over its studio. It doesn't always have to be shaving. Sometimes it can just be clip. Okay, let's move on to the next pairing. On this one, we've got number 1 for Long Away and number 2 for I'm Going Slightly Mad. Long Away, number 1. I'm Going Slightly Mad is 2. Well, it wasn't a blowout, but it's looking... Yes, like I say, that penguin outfit that he's wearing on the Queen 1 album cover, which is just, I found that so strange. He must really like penguins. The songs are Long Away is number 1, and I'm Going Slightly Mad, number 2. Yeah, it's looking like I'm Going Slightly Mad. What rumored Elton John was inside of the gorilla costume? And speaking of Elton John, I just started watching that movie Rocket Man. It was a little more of a musical than I expected it to be. I'm not sure how I feel about that. It's not what I expected it to be, anyways. When you think why he wrote the song, I mean, it really kind of makes sense. Because I'd imagine those medications probably would make somebody feel crazy. Yeah, the little bit I've seen, like I saw, I've only seen like the first 30 minutes. It hasn't really captured my interest. I did open the photograph book and went page by page already. There's some great photos in there for sure. Although I seem to remember telling myself that I could have taken some better photos, but most of them were brilliant. Oh, there I've got another one of those power flashes. At least it's not turning off my computer, but it's turning off my monitor. Oh yeah, I mean, there's a lot about Bohemian Rhapsody movie I didn't like, but it was a far more watchable movie than Rocket Man was. I mean, at least there was still some entertainment value there. Well, I mean, I like Elton John. I mean, the guy's had a pretty fascinating life, and I just think they could have moved away from it being a more of a pure musical and more of a biopic. I mean, maybe the movie changes a little bit as you get into it, but like I say, the first half hour is just kind of, I feel like I was watching like a episode of Glee. I mean, there are some musicals that I've liked. I guess this just really wasn't one of them. Okay, let's move on to another pairing. We got our second to last pairing in the preliminaries. And for this one, we're going number 1 for Get Down, Make Love, or number 2 for Don't Lose Your Head. Don't Lose Your Head is number 2. Get Down, Make Love, number 1. Oh, you guys are going to make me cry. Oh, Get Down, Make Love is 1. Don't Lose Your Head, 2. Now, I got to recount this one. It looks like another tie. Has everybody put a vote in? So what, twice in a row I'm going to have to make a decision? Or 2 times today? I thought I was supposed to be making these first rounds easy. Okay, votes closing in 3, 2, 1. Okay, it's up to me, and my vote is for, ta-da, Get Down, Make Love. Just, it's such a weird, twisted song. I love it. Yeah, well, this one was a little easier for me. I mean, I like both the songs, but I've always been partial to Get Down, Make Love. And if I was to take the live version I mean, that's another song that I just really goes to another level for me live. But I don't think that's influencing my decision. I don't think, because I'm trying to base this purely on the studio stuff. But yeah, I think Get Down, Make Love for me, just for its originality and down and dirty. Exactly, Vix. And like I say, live, that was one of my highlights of the concert I went to was that song. Where Brian May's guitar just starts creating sounds that are just, yeah, they're fun to hear. And I like the intro of the song as well. Yeah, that one is a little closer than I thought it would be. But that's what I was saying when I'm setting up these brackets. It's very difficult for me sometimes to, I might put songs together that I think are easy choices, like, and then they're not so easy. Okay, let's do our final choice of the preliminary brackets here. So for this one, we're going 1 for It's a Hard Life, or 2 for Good Old Fashioned Lover Boy. Good Old Fashioned Lover Boy is number 2. It's a Hard Life, number 1. Yeah, these are pretty. I'm hoping I don't have to vote on for this one here. Oh, the video for It's a Hard Life is I can't say I'm a really big fan. All their outfits are just absolutely um yeah, interesting. So unless there's a lot of votes out there, hello Kleinel, didn't notice you here. Welcome. Yes, we will take all the winners of all the previous brackets and we'll throw them up against each other and eventually come out to the number one voted Queen song. So I guess it's safe to say It's a Hard Life won that one. I believe, yes. Yeah, I probably would have voted for 2 on that one. Although again, that would be very difficult. Well, Margie, I don't know if that's going to sway it, but I'm going to recount anyways. No, too far ahead. It's like 15-7. Welcome back. So we're down to our final 8 now. Where are we? Just about an hour into the stream. Yeah, we'll move on then. We'll do the next one. So into our quarterfinals. Going back to the other side of the map, and we are going hit number 1 for Great King Rat, or number 2 for Machines. Great King Rat is 1, Machines is 2. Yeah, I haven't even put in many of Queen's big hitters yet into any of these challenges. I mean, Bo Rap hasn't made an appearance. We Will Rock You, We Are the Champions, Prophet Song, a lot of good stuff. Innuendo, Liar. Did Liar? No, Liar. Yeah, Liar was there. Lost out to The Show Must Go On. So are we looking like we have a choice here? It looks like we have a pick. It looks like the great King Rat maintains his throne. The dirty old man goes on to the semifinals. A 1-1. Yeah. Let all the votes come in. Okay. Votes closing in 3, 2, 1. Yeah, Great King Rat's a very interesting lyric. A lot can be read into that. Well, that's the same with a lot of early, especially Freddie's stuff, his early lyrics. Because it's so easy to know, like in the future, who Freddie was, to reflect back and try to draw out meaning from songs. You know, especially as you find out about his experiences in boarding school and, you know, obviously the fact that he came out in the mid 70s. Or actually, he probably didn't come out in the mid 70s. He probably didn't come out till the early 80s. Okay, going on to the next pairing. This one we have hit number 1 for Jealousy, or number 2 for Flick of the Wrist. Flick of the Wrist is number 2. Jealousy is 1. Mm-hmm. Oh, it's suddenly getting interesting here. It looked like it was going to be a given for a second. No, I think it's not so close. I'm a little surprised. Well, hang on a second here. 1, 2, 3. No, it's looking like flick of the wrist. Any more votes to come in? We're going to need a big push for jealousy at this point. It's looking like flick of the wrist is going to be taking this. Anthony, hello, sir. Welcome. Yes, everything is great amongst the darks. Yeah, no innuendo in this grouping, but I'll keep that in mind for when it shows up. We're doing a song bracket challenge. We're pitting 2 songs against each other, voting for our favorite, starting with 16 and then paring it down to the final 2. You know, much like you would see in a sports bracket. So we're just comparing jealousy and flick of the wrist right now. So if you want to vote, you vote 1 for jealousy and 2 for flick of the wrist. Hello, Adam, and welcome. So I'm giving this one the flick of the wrist. I don't think it can be changed at this point. And it always brings some nice dark humor to my channel, which I appreciate very much. I tend to have a little bit of a twisted mind when it comes to humor. So he definitely fills that need. I think Ant generally says the things that I think. I just don't say them out loud. No, I'm a Canadian. You got to throw the U in there for me. It's the Americans that kick out all the U's. No, it's all right, brother. Although it's fine for me either way. I'm used to seeing both spellings, of course. With America being our neighbor, I still have to deal with all their nonsense. Okay, moving on to our next pairing. We have, sorry, hit number 1 for Dragon Attack, or number 2 for I'm Going Slightly Mad. I'm Going Slightly Mad is 2, Dragon Attack is 1. Well, in today's day and age, Nora, it is a kind way of putting it. I think our southern neighbors are going absolutely nuts in a frightening kind of way. Hopefully you all pull it together though at some point and come back from the edge. It's just so heavily politicized down there right now. Communications breaking down, and it's just kind of tossing kind of partisan insults at each other. And yeah, well, it's supposed to get harder as we go along here. So, and this is a tough one. Well, is the UK at each other's throats right now? What's the division that's going on in the UK right now? Is it political as well, like left and right kind of thing? Yeah, well, football always causes trouble in the UK. Very passionate fans. Unkind kingdom. Yeah, well, the far right has really kind of yeah, they've really had a global resurgence. And COVID, of course, has just amplified everything. And a lack of trust in our governments, and which is somewhat justified. And I think that's what's really difficult about it, because we don't know who we can trust and believe anymore. The media's hyper sensationalizing everything. Our politicians are catering and pandering to the extremes on both ends of the political scale, and it just leaves those of us who are somewhat centrists, who kind of see the potential devastation that either far right or far left could have. We're just left to kind of shake our heads. Yeah, I don't like how protests are being handled nowadays. It's being very handled in a very authoritarian way. So if anybody has any objections, I believe that last round went to Dragon Attack, by the way. Not by a great deal, but I believe it was the choice. In my opinion, I think Brexit was a bit of a mistake, but I'm the first to admit that I don't know all the finest details about Brexit, but it just felt like a very kind of nationalistic move, and I don't know if that kind of isolationist nationalistic view is necessarily a good thing. You're right, Janet. Democracy is very much um, under attack right now in America. Yeah. Vixen's always causing trouble. Uh-huh. But I mean, we've had times of civil unrest before, and cooler heads in the long run would prevail. So we have the Abbotsford Air Show coming up here in Vancouver, and so once in a while you get the military jets that fly over. They're very loud. You'd almost think a war was starting. Exactly, Kai. That's why I would love to have a plot of land outside of the main city core where you can plant some food and have some chickens. Oh, absolutely. That's kind of the way I see it, Ant. It's like, it wasn't perfect, but what is perfect, right? So you don't throw it all out. You just try to kind of fix where you see issues come up. But I didn't know you guys. I mean, I knew you guys were having issues over Brexit. I mean, that debate's been going on for a few years now, but I didn't realize it had fractured you so much. I'm sure some of you will throw things at me, but I've always been a Liverpool Reds fan, by the way, when it comes to British soccer. My friends were always Man City. Well, I'll tell you, there's a bit of a movement going on in Canada right now too. I mean, Alberta is basically our our right wing province, and they're very vocal and becoming more and more vocal all the time. American football. I don't actually have a favorite American football team right now. I've kind of dove mostly just into hockey at this point. I don't follow as many sports as I used to. Yeah. Dare I ask who Teddy Fur Fury is? Yeah, I read the border's going to open up in BC in August. I'm assuming as long as cases don't spike again. And I don't know if that means just those who have been, probably to those who have just been double vaccinated or fully vaccinated. Okay, I'm guessing Teddy Fur Fury is something to do with a stuffed teddy. Oh, okay. With a Freddy T-shirt on. Well, there you go. How can you go wrong with a teddy bear with a Freddy shirt? That's the best of both worlds, isn't it? A troublemaking Teddy. I wonder who is influencing poor Teddy to be such a troublemaker. I couldn't possibly guess. Hello, Donnelly. Welcome. That's okay. You're here for the final few votes, anyways. But we should probably finish off our quarterfinal bracket because I don't believe we have yet. Our last vote was Dragon Attack, and I'm going slightly mad, right? Yes. Okay, let's keep moving. We got about 15 minutes left. So we got to get through our brackets here. So we're going for our final quarterfinal here. And for this one, we are voting hitting number 1 for Get Down, Make Love, or number 2 for It's a Hard Life. It's a Hard Life is 2, Get Down, Make Love, 1. Oh, my Get Down, Make Love is getting trounced. Come on, Vix, you know you want to. Break that shutout. Be different. Oh, thank you, Leslie. I didn't want my song to get shut out. I am very naughty, Aunt. Well, I would hope for more votes to come in on hopes that the result might change, but I've got no problem with It's a Hard Life. It's a great song. So I will happily write it down as the winner. Yeah, I know it's that music video again, right? Now these final 4 should be interesting. Yeah, I mean, for me, I mean, It's a Hard Life, honestly, is probably a better song. I don't know, I just bias towards Get Down, Make Love just for its originality, but I could certainly see why it wouldn't have mass appeal, where It's a Hard Life is just, it's a good song, good lyrics, strong lyrics. Did I? Yeah, yeah, yeah. I sadly wrote down the winner with a smile. It's just one of those choices that you can't go wrong. They're both good. I can't remember if Body Language is banned as well. I want to say Body Language might have had some time out in America. Yes, Donna, exactly. I didn't understand why I Want to Break. I mean, I know why they banned I Want to Break Free, but when you watch the video, it just seems like seriously. Yeah, maybe that's what it was, Lee. They only played it on the late night broadcast. I can't. It's been too long ago. See, I guess being a Canadian, I was aware of Coronation Street before I saw the video for I Want to Break Free. And I thought it was just funny. I mean, it's not like cross dressing was new to America. It's not like it was overly sexual. Yeah, I love that video. Although my favorite part of the video is when they're with the um, all the visuals in the middle there, Freddie rolling across, body rolling across everybody and being carried above their heads. I mean, all those visuals were great. I really enjoyed that. Yeah, Roger, he looked good for sure. Oh, Tipper Gore. Fuck. Yeah. Almost as bad as Nancy Reagan with her "this is your brain on drugs" nonsense, which actually makes me kind of hungry. Well, Kleina, that's something that I found interesting. The fact that he didn't shave his mustache, I mean, it was pretty obvious it was supposed to be tongue in cheek, right? Because who cross dresses with that kind of mustache on their face? It's just insane. Yeah, I never felt my brain felt like eggs when I could never. I mean, I was much younger, of course, when that was taking place, and I hadn't experimented much with drugs, but it's kind of the lies that we've been fed for so many years is probably coming back to bite us now, because now people don't know what to believe anymore. Okay, we're going into the semifinals now. We're down to our final four songs. I think it might get a little bit tougher to choose now. So we're going to go for number 1 for Great King Rat, or number 2 for Flick of the Wrist. Great King Rat is 1, Flick of the Wrist is 2. Oh, really? Yeah, and that's not a song, my friend. You can't vote for that one. Okay, I think I'm going to have to double count this one. I'm seeing it 11-10 in favor of Great King Rat. Does anybody want to do a double count for me and see if you get the same? Uh-oh. Uh-oh, Janet. Now it might be a tie. Oh. Wendy to the rescue. Now I'm looking at 12-11. Is it, or did Wendy break that tie? Yeah, I think if I'm counting correctly and nobody double voted, which I didn't look at, but I don't think so. I think Great King Rat took it by a vote. You think you know which way I would go, Lynn? Which way would I go on this one? Yeah, that's what I counted as well. Okay, so any more votes coming in? 3, 2, 1. And the Rat continues to hold on to his throne. Goes into the finals. Yeah, that's the problem, Ant. I thought about that, playing the song and then to vote. And then I thought maybe just playing like 10, 15 seconds of the song. But that's why instead I've been putting up the 16 songs that are going to be competing in the week. I try to have that up on Thursday, give people a couple of days to listen to the songs again. Because otherwise, yeah, it would drag the live chat on too long. Yes, I give out homework. Yeah, but it's good homework, Leslie. It's the kind of homework that your fun teachers would give you. I put it up as a comment. I'm just what do they call it again? Hang on here. Yeah, it goes up as a post. And I think the post would show, I don't know if it would show up in the, you might have to go to my page and click the community tab. I'm not sure if it shows up in anybody's like home. And like I say, I'll try to have those up on Thursday to give a couple of days to, to go over the songs. And like I say, some of us might not have heard a song for a long time. And I'm sure there's some of us in here that haven't heard every Queen song. Yeah, and if you click my notifications, yeah, you should also get a notification as well. But worst case, like I say, you might just have to go to my channel and click the community tab. It doesn't show up in my community tab. Oh, well, it shows up in mine, but yeah, I've noticed that with notifications too. They don't always notify. Okay, let's figure out our next finalist. Can anybody else go to maybe try my channel and click the community tab and see if you see anything? Yeah, and then Janet gets a situation where it's not showing up on the phone, but it shows up on the iPad. Yeah, I think there must be something a little bit inconsistent. Well, Dragon Attack's not there yet, Nick. So let's find out if it makes the cut. So we're going on to our other semifinal here. We are going to vote number 1 for Dragon Attack or hit 2 for It's a Hard Life. Dragon Attack is 1. It's a Hard Life is 2. So if I see correctly, Lee's voting for Dragon Attack. Yeah, there's Troublemaker. Little Teddy for Fury has got bad influence. It's looking to me like it's a Hard Life by a couple of votes. Anybody else not vote yet? Yeah, that's what it's looking like. I made a prediction on this one and it was almost correct. Did you get a vote, Donna? Did you hear the choices? Oh yeah, you did. Okay. Okay, so looks like It's a Hard Life is in the finals. And now that we all know what the finalists are, let's do it right away and get our winner. So Great King Rat hit number 1, hit number 2 for It's a Hard Life. Number 1 for Great King Rat, number 2 for It's a Hard Life. Wow, the underdog seems to have taken this one. Well, hang on. No. So the lobster costume took it over the top, apparently. Shellfish for the win. What kind of sound issues, Donna? Like I guess my voice? I know, Nick. That's what I'm thinking. Sometimes it can be like internet induced lag that can like is my voice sound distorted or is it cutting in and out? Yeah, the great King Lobster went down. He's been removed from his throne. Apparently his life just wasn't hard enough. Yeah, it can sound about the same. Hey, it's us Canadians that sound normal. It's the rest of you who have accents. Although I admit there are some Canadians, especially the East Coast, that sound pretty funny. Those in Newfoundland, for instance, have pretty strong accents. Okay, so we're crowning. Oh, Newfie accents are great, but sometimes they can be hard to understand. It's like listening to a Scottish accent. I have such a hard time if somebody's got a strong Scottish accent. It's like, what? So It's a Hard Life crowned the winner of the 4th weekly Queen Song Challenge. I'm somehow going to have to make a list so I don't put duplicate songs on. After a while, it's going to be hard to keep track of what I've used and what I haven't. Hot Space, welcome. So who here predicted the winner of this week? Did anybody have any predictions beforehand? How many languages did Queen sing in? That's interesting. French, Japanese. Well, it depends on what you consider Mustafa, because that was like 2 languages and gibberish. Does gibberish count as a language? I don't know. I mean, maybe half a dozen languages Queen sang in? I've never really thought about that. Yeah, Nick, that was my prediction. It was going to be Great King Rat versus Dragon Attack. But I'm fine with the result. I would say of the 4 weeks, the song that I would have picked has won, well, probably hasn't won yet. So Japanese, English, Hungarian, Spanish. Yeah, but you could add Arabic in there because Mustafa had some Arabic and French. Did they not sing some French? So there's 6. The winners were in the Lap of the Gods original version the first week. Was It All Worth It won the second week. The Show Must Go On won the third week, and then It's a Hard Life took the 4th week. Haven't read it yet, Liliana, but I think anybody's perspective that was that close to the band for so long, I think that would be well worth a read. And Peter Hintz, of course, coming from the kind of the backstage perspective, I think it would probably be quite good. Bismillah. I don't know if Bismillah is. There goes my power thing again. I wonder if somebody must be drawing heavy power somewhere. Yeah, maybe I'm having a stroke has nothing to do with the lighting. Yeah, the first week, um, I didn't. Yeah, I wasn't even thinking about songs that I was putting up against each other. I just slapped the first 16 down, basically, that came to my head. Yeah, maybe that's it. It just must be me absorbing all the power. Maybe I just lopped somebody's head off and now I'm getting my enlightenment. You find the second winner odd? So did I. Was it all worth it? That was a very interesting week because that week had Tie Your Mother Down, Seaside Rendezvous, Mustafa, Father to Son, Princes of the Universe, You and I, You're My Best Friend, Radio Gaga, Headlong, and then out of all those, Was It All Worth It? Win one. But that's how these brackets work. It's not always the perceived favorite. That was the week that Nick was voting like 10 times, so I think he might have fixed the vote. No, I mean it's a great song. I kind of just poke fun mostly because if my favorites don't win, then it must be fixed, right? Isn't that the way it works nowadays? Khashoggi's ship was actually part of this week's 16, but it was up against Flick of the Wrist, and unfortunately, it lost. Yeah, here we go. We're going to go through months of legal challenges and revotes. Maybe our little game will make the national news. It's nice. Every week we've gotten a few more people in joining us for this, so that's great to see. Okay, everybody, I am starting to get hunger pains, so I'll shut down this one for now, and of course it'll be posted. And for any of you who don't know already, it takes about a day for the chat to come up with the video. The video posts right away, but for whatever reason, the chat lags quite a bit behind. So anybody who wants to go over, maybe missed the beginning and wants to catch up, give it a day before you try. And yes, thank you all again. I mean, this has been so much fun. That's what Queen fans are so great for. Somebody disliked my live stream. Who was that? Let me at him. Hey, they say any publicity is good publicity, even if it's negative. So thumbs up or thumbs down, I'm fine with it. It is almost dinner time, Claudia. But I don't think I ate lunch, so it's going to be one of those late lunch, early dinner things. Yeah, I got to make up for my downvote. Okay, thank you, everybody. Have a great night or day or morning. Again, we're all over the world, which is wonderful. Okay, you guys are the best. Thank you very much. Take care. Talk to you. Well, I'll be doing some reactions tonight now that I'm off and I got a good night's sleep. So I'll dump a couple of reactions tonight and I'll try to pace at least one a day anyways while I'm off on my holidays. Although I might skip the odd day, of course. But lots to come. Take care. We'll see you all next week.